Please be advised that this video at various moments contains flashing imagery on screen.
Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jeremy and thank you very much for checking out this On the Disc video, a video series where I look specifically at what is on the discs of a product I have done an unboxing of. Today we are focusing on Sailor Moon R, the complete second season of Sailor Moon, available now from Viz Media in the USA. If you want to see what the physical packaging looks like, I've got a separate video here on my channel right now for you to watch, and if you want to see what the season 1 set looked like, you can see both an unboxing and an on the disc video for that right now as well. Worth noting from the outset that this Blu-ray is Region A, meaning it's coded for North American hardware, so make sure if you get your copy that you can play discs of that region specifically. So with that being said, let's move straight on to the disc itself. Here we are on the main menu of Disc 1. Worth noting that before you get to this point, you get some warnings, as it were, a flashing epilepsy type warning. You also get company logos that appear before you get to the main menu. You may also notice that there's perhaps no sounds in the background. That is because for the purpose of this video, I have muted all audio from the disc. But there is a very familiar, song playing in the background of this menu, which accompanies the footage that you're seeing quite nicely. So let's focus on what we see here. We've got the main menu as mentioned, and from what we can tell here, we've got very simple options. We've got play all episodes, you've got the episodes menu, you've got setup, and you've got a gallery. This very much mimicking what we saw on the season 1 set, so it's very nice to see the consistency with that. When it comes to the episodes on this disc, to focus on that first of all, we have got episodes 47 through 54, and once again, as per the first season set, very clear to see which episodes are being highlighted, and the fact they're numbered as well is something that I really like. So fair play to Viz Media for the consistency on that. When it comes to setup options, as per the season 1 set, it defaults to English with songs and signs, as in English audio. So if you want to know what the default options are, that is what we have. You can just play it with simply the English dub, no subtitles at all. English dub with subtitles, which essentially, as we saw last time, is the subtitles to accompany the Japanese language track playing over the top of the English track. Songs and signs with the English audio basically means on-screen text or song lyrics translated on screen while you watch it. SDH subtitles, we focused on this a bit on the season 1 set as well. This is designed more for audience with hard of hearing, so it emphasises which character is speaking if they are off screen, and will have other notable things in brackets to indicate a sound effect perhaps. I'll make sure to try and show you a few instances of that to demonstrate what that looks like. Then of course we've got just raw Japanese. If you want to watch it that way, go for it by all means. Then of course Japanese with English subtitles, and Japanese with song and sign subtitles only. So once again, a plethora of options for you to be able to check out. With that being said, let's investigate this a little bit. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to focus on how these subtitles look with the English audio playing, because in some ways it kind of goes over to Japanese as well. So let's first of all focus with how these subtitles appear in general. And for this, I'm just going to go to the first episode just to make it a lot easier. As we get to the sort of pre-credit roll, if you will, the recap, before we get to the episode proper, you can see the subtitles here displaying with an italic style font, which very much mirrors what we saw in the season 1 set. Very, very clear and easy to read. I have zero issue with this whatsoever. I've jumped forward a little bit here to where the song subtitles first appear. You can see here how they will appear on screen. Not invasive at all in my opinion, they kind of more through convenience than anything actually blend into the other text on screen, so totally fine by me in that instance. I've jumped forward again here to the opening scene of the episode proper to give you a glimpse of what these subtitles will look like. Once again, as you can see, the font text is looking very, very good in this instance, very, very clear to read. If it's a character you see on screen, it will be displayed normally. If it's a character off screen, it will be italicized. Very, very clear to see, zero issue with this whatsoever. Now we get our first glimpse of the title card for the episode. This is how the font will appear for you when you have English with subtitles selected. And then you get a glimpse there of what the signed subtitle looks like, being in all caps in that instance. Having jumped forward a little bit here to another scene, we're going to get an instance here where you can see a subtitle covering 2 lines on screen, so it gives you an indication as to how that will look in motion. Perfectly fine for me, to be honest, but again, I like to make sure I cover all my bases here where possible. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch up the settings a little bit because I think we want to experiment with how things are going to appear. So let's change this to English with SDH subtitles, and I will try and highlight for you an instance where, in fact, right there, perfect. It shows you right there, character speaking, the sound effect that was happening, a perfect example to highlight there. And once again, another one right here. So that's an indication as to what the SDH subtitle feature is like. It's a really, really great addition to these Blu-ray releases, just to make it far more accessible to a wide-ranging audience. Great thing to see. Back on the main menu here, what I want to do now is show you what the gallery looks like. So I think we've covered a lot of bases with disc 1 here. As we saw in the season 1 set, variety of sort of key imagery, as it's phrased, from the show that is included in these galleries, of which there will more than likely be some on each disc, I imagine. As we get to disc 3, there will be more extras specifically on that disc and on disc 6. So when it comes to what is highlighted, I'm gonna guess if it's pink it's highlighted? Yes it is, cool, okay, so the pink text / arrow will indicate where the cursor is in this instance. Some nice artwork as we have seen before. Nice little selection. I really like that image. That's really nice. That's a great shot. I really, really like that. Okay, that was a pretty short gallery, admittedly. I'm not sure how much more art there's going to be throughout these discs. But like I say, I think we've covered our bases with disc 1 here. So with that being said, let's advance to disc 2. We have made it to the menu here of disc 2, and as you can see, we have got Luna and Artemis gracing the main menu here. Once again, we've got footage playing in the background. I mentioned Luna. I've just noticed, look at the cursor. That's a really nice little touch there. I've just noticed that the actual cursor itself is Luna. That's really, really nice. So, when it comes to episodes on this disc, we have got episodes 55 through 62. Again, same layout as we saw on disc 1, very, very simple to get used to. When it comes to the setup, once again we'll default to English with songs and signs, but we have the exact same options as we did on disc 1. When it comes to the gallery, let's see what we get in this. So I get a feeling based on the main menu we may be focusing on Artemis and Luna, so let's see what we have. Yeah, just very, very simple. Very simple gallery. I kind of would have maybe liked a little bit more, but you know what? I'm not going to complain because overall this set is really, really nice and is very much continuing on with the great setup, if you will, that the season 1 set had. So I've got zero issues with this whatsoever. So with that being said, I think the very easy thing to do now is just to move straight on to disc 3 because there will definitely be some more content to delve into on that. So here we are on the main menu of disc 3, and we've got some wonderful imagery to accompany the main menu here. So as you can see, it's a tad bit different here, but inherently the same. And in terms of now a bit of a continuity thing, which I'm going to enjoy pointing out each time, as you can see when it comes to the cursor, we've got that lovely little moon symbol there. Great stuff. So when it comes to episodes on this disc, we have got episodes 63 through to 68. The setup, once again, it will default to English songs with signs. We've got exactly the same as we have seen before. Of which I will point out, actually, that when it comes to the English dub, and I know this is a few questions that people were asking based on my previous video, it is the most recent Viz Media dub that is included on these releases. And also the series is uncut as far as I am aware as well, because this was like a complete re-release of the series, very much intended to honour and adapt it as it was originally intended to be viewed. So nothing is edited as far as I am aware, but please do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments on any of that information. So let's get onto the extras menu, which I'm sure a lot of people are excited about. So we have got listed here an AX cast interview, dub recording behind the scenes with Sailor Mars and Jupiter, clean opening and ending title sequences, and an art gallery. Let's focus on this AX cast interview first. So what we have got here, folks, is following on from the first season set, we have got an interview with a variety of the cast members recorded at the Anime Expo convention in North America. And this is going to have a variety of the voice actors giving comments on various questions that are put to them throughout the course of this 20-minute feature, if you will. And the entire interview is literally them sitting on these couches here. So very, very simple setup, very, very easy to watch as well. Next up, dub recording behind the scenes with Sailor Mars and Sailor Jupiter. So what we're going to have here, everyone, is about a 15-minute or so featurette, which is going to be going behind the scenes of them recording the English dub, and by that I mean the voice actors of Sailor Mars and Sailor Jupiter, respectively. We begin with Christina V as a focus primarily to begin with, who is the voice of Sailor Mars. Sort of her giving comments about her experiences recording and such like that. Again, a fun look behind the scenes if this is something that is of interest to you. An interesting aspect of this Christina V portion of the interview is the fact that in one of the episodes, she does actually contribute her voice to an actual song in the show, and they do put a bit of a focus on that as well. So it's really nice to see that that is also given the time of day it is deserved, because it is great to see that was ultimately included as part of this new English dub as well. As we move further along, we get towards the Sailor Jupiter focus of this behind the scenes featurette with Amanda Miller, the voice actor of that particular character, giving sort of similar anecdotes as well and such when it comes to her performance as Sailor Jupiter and various aspects of what she has done in the dub recording process. And you do get a nice little peek behind the scenes even further than that with the ADR director of the show as well, the person helping them to record the dialogue, in case you don't know what that means. Next up, clean opening and ending title sequences. Now, as was the case with the first season set, you've got the option to have subtitles accompany the footage, be it strictly with English subtitles, as in the translation of the lyrics. You've actually got the Romaji subtitles, which is sort of how it is written in English, the Japanese lyrics, if you will, or simply just subtitles off. I'll give you an example of both just for the sake of completion. And here are some of the English subtitles on screen for you now. Now, when it comes to clean opening and ending, if you're not familiar with what that means, it essentially means that the Japanese overlays, if you will, the title cards that appear on screen, they are not present in the clean version. So it is a clean version of the opening and ending title sequences. So what I'm going to do now, using the pop-up menu to do this, because it's also part of an element of the disc I've not really focused on too much yet. When it comes to the extras, you can still access it from here if you want to go to it. We're currently in English subtitles, let's switch over to Romaji subtitles. As was the case with the Season 1 set, they've got the subtitle switching option when it comes to the clean opening and ending sequences, set up as an entirely sort of restart, so you can't just sort of flip-flop between the two as you're watching, which is an interesting choice, but it's not a deal breaker, it's just a random note more than anything. Skipping forward. We are now at the second opening title sequence included throughout this set of Sailor Moon episodes. Again, going to give you a little preview as to what these subtitles look like with both options enabled. Starting off in this instance with the Romaji subtitles, which should appear on screen shortly. And here is our first instance of the subtitles appearing. Again, gives you an idea as to how they will appear on screen in this clean version of it. So that being said, using the pop-up menu once again, of which, again, just for a point of reference, you can access the setup menu from here throughout all the episodes as well. You can literally select an episode if you want to jump straight forward to it. And of course, you can just play all the episodes, quite frankly, if you want to. But for the purposes of where we are in this video, let's now switch over to the English subtitles. And once again, it goes back to the first one. So if I jump forward again, it will go to the next sequence. Here we are once again. Now I'm just going to jump forward again just to get to those subtitles appearing on screen. And there we go. That is how the English subtitles look. So if we skip forward again, we have now got the ending title sequence, which, as you'll see in a few moments, the English subtitles are currently enabled for this. There we go. Now, it is interesting because part of the reason why I've flip-flopped between the two options as I have is to demonstrate that if you want to just flip-flop the subtitles, you can't unfortunately just do it as you're playing them, which again, a little bit of a shame. It's not a deal breaker, but it kind of shows you what I have had to do to show you the functionality to be able to enable them on and off if you want to watch a certain opening or ending sequence in a particular way with the subtitles. Not a major thing as mentioned, but again, I just wanted to flag it more than anything. So now, again, for the purpose of completion, let's switch over. To shorten the sequence for you folks, I've just sort of jumped forward quickly so you don't have to see me go through everything just to get back to a point where the subtitles appear. But this is how the Romaji subtitles look like for this ending sequence. And with that being said, that also concludes this particular round of extras, but there is still one more thing on this disc that we need to check out. Because we've got an art gallery to have a look at, so let's see what's in this one. Got some lovely art here. Not too sure how much we're going to have based on the previous discs, but it's this really high quality art and it just looks really cool. And in fact, that's the last image actually. So you know what? A short and sweet gallery once again, but across all the discs, there is some really, really nice artwork that they are showcasing. So it is very nice to see. With that being said, let's move on to disc 4. So here we are at the main menu for disc 4. As you can see, we've got Chibi-Usa here on the main menu. Very, very nice to see. And once again, I've just noticed it now. Once again, the little icon, this lunar icon is so cute. But anyway, I digress. Once again, we've got play all episodes. The episodes on this disc are 69 through 76. Same menu layout once again. Setup, you know it by now. Defaults to English with songs and signs, but all of those options are present. And then finally, we have a gallery. Let's see what's in this one. Some really nice art just to start off with right off the bat. You can also see where they got that lunar icon from, because it's right there. Yeah, just some really nice Chibi-Usa art. That's really, really cool. Why have they just included a larger version of this? It doesn't matter. Either way, nice gallery there. Really, really like that. And that's the disc, basically. Very, very simple stuff. So let's motor straight on to disc 5. Here we are at the main menu for disc 5, and as you can see, Sailor Pluto is on screen. Once again, we have got play all, episodes, setup, and gallery. I will notice, and I'm not sure if this may appear better for you on screen, but for me looking at my screen right now on my TV, the icon is actually a little bit difficult to see on this. I'm sort of flicking it across the bottom here, but it's not a massive problem. Like, you can kind of make out there is a line indicating what the icon is next to, but it's not the easiest to see. So that's just a little random note from me. When it comes to episodes on this disc, we have 77 through 84. So a nice crop of episodes on there. Setup menu, again, you notice at this point, defaults to English with songs and signs, all the same options as on previous discs. When it comes to the gallery option, one would assume it's going to be Sailor Pluto focus, and I think that is a safe bet as well. So let's have a little scroll through this and see what we have got. That's a really nice image. There's our icon from the main menu, as it were. Obviously, I know it's the wand, but you know what I mean. So there is one more thing I do want to show you, because I appreciate at this point, I've not actually shown you the second opening title sequence to this series with the on-screen text and stuff. So for the sake of completion, let's get that covered. What I'm going to do, just at random, 83. Jumping forward a little bit. So here we are on the second opening title sequence. You can see the on-screen text and of course the subtitles that will appear on screen as well. You will notice that it is the Romaji subtitles. I am led to believe it will flip-flop between each episode as to whether it is the English subtitles and the Romaji subtitles specifically. So you know what? We are on episode 83 right now, using the pop-up menu just to get another chance to demonstrate the functionality here. Let's go to episode 84 and compare. So we've got a little pre-roll sequence here. I'm just going to skip forward to the opening title sequence. And as you can see on episode 84 here, it is in English, those subtitles. So it will flip-flop back and forth between episodes as to whether it is the Romaji or the English translated subtitles. A little note there, but sometimes it's good to know this stuff, isn't it? So with that being said, I think it's time we move on to the final disc of this set, disc 6. Here we are on disc 6, and as you can see, it is Black Lady taking pretty much center stage on this main menu. A very important character at this point in the show, so it makes total sense to me. Once again, when it comes to icons moving across the screen stuff, can definitely see this one far better now. I think the wand on the last disc was probably just a bit of an anomaly when it came to choicing, but this is a much easier thing to be able to see, quite frankly. So when it comes to episodes on this disc, we've got episodes 85 through to 89. So the final episodes of this Sailor Moon R season, aka season 2. When it comes to setup, I know I sound like a broken record of this at this point. Same exact options as we have seen. We default to English with songs and signs. When it comes to extras on this disc, this is the second crop of extras over the course of these 6 discs. Second full set of extras, I should say. We've got a bit more to delve into here, so we'll go through them one by one. First of all, welcome Chibi-Usa. So this is an interview with the voice actor of Chibi-Usa, who of course makes their debut during the course of this season of Sailor Moon. As you can see, we've got a number of the cast there, but this featurette primarily, which is about 7 minutes or so in length, is very much focused on their involvement of being added to the series. But it is nice to see the other voice actors getting involved in the conversation as well, so it isn't the fact they're all just there, they do also contribute to this featurette as well. Next up, Sailor Moon Anniversary. What we have got here is at Anime Central, the convention in the USA in 2015. It was 1 year on from the inaugural celebrations, if you will, of Sailor Moon coming back to the USA, as we talked about in the Season 1 set. So now 1 year on, as it were, at this point when this feature was created. This is a quick little recap of the convention, if you will, and some of the Sailor Moon activity that was going on at the show, be it from signings to members of the audience giving their thoughts and feelings on Sailor Moon and such. Just a fun little featurette. It's a couple of minutes long. It's nothing too major, as it were, but it does give a good glimpse as to the hype surrounding Sailor Moon back in 2015 in North America. Next up, Sailor Moon at Otakon. So with this, we've got about a 20-minute or so interview with two of the voice actors from the show, Stephanie Sheh and Robbie Damon, just talking about, quite frankly, their experiences since having been cast in Sailor Moon, and also just the hype around things as well. It covers a variety of topics, as it were. So if you want to get a little bit behind the scenes from two voice actors, from their perspective of the fandom, their own personal experiences, people who have sort of told them how they feel about Sailor Moon and whatnot, an interesting take just to kind of gauge where they are at in terms of their own lives at this point in time. It's a fun little thing to watch, worth checking out. Next up, dub recording behind the scenes, Sailor Venus and Sailor Pluto. As we saw on Disc 3, this is a similar featurette focusing on the behind the scenes of the dub recording process when it comes to Sailor Moon R. We begin with an interview with Shirami Lee, and goes into detail from her point of view of what it's like to be Sailor Venus, some of the recording of the dialogue and such. So if you want to get a good behind the scenes glimpse of things, definitely worth giving this a shot. But that's not the only thing that's part of this feature. Because although this entire feature is about 11 minutes in total, they do also include a second feature. There is also an interview with Veronica Taylor, the voice of Sailor Pluto, giving some of her anecdotes and thoughts when it comes to her involvement in Sailor Moon, being the voice of Sailor Pluto specifically, as well as a few other bits and bobs. So again, a fun thing to watch if you like the behind the scenes aspect of English dub recording. And then we have got two more things to highlight. First of all, art gallery. Keeping on theme with what we have seen on the other discs, got a collection of images here, more than likely relating to the character that we saw on the main menu. In this case, it is Black Lady. So as you can see here, variety of images relating to that. Also got some other characters as well in here, so I've been caught off guard, a little bit of surprise on that front. But good to see we've got a nice bit of that is a great image right there. I love that so much. And finally, we have got more from Viz, which, if the previous season set is anything to go by, this will more than likely be a bunch of Sailor Moon related trailers when it comes to Viz Media releases. Let's have a quick check out and find out. In fact, I said trailers plural. This is actually a trailer, just a single trailer, and it is for the first season set, the one that I covered last time, as it were. There's no other trailers on this, so it's literally just the one trailer, quite frankly. Just to demonstrate to you, let me skip forward to the end frame of the trailer. There you go, literally, wasn't even joking. It's literally the trailer for that first season set. So there you go, that is what is on this. And with that being said, everybody, that concludes this disc, the final disc of the set. So that concludes this on the disc video of Sailor Moon R, the complete second season Blu-ray. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it has been enjoyable and or useful to you if you are thinking of purchasing this set. If you're interested, as mentioned at the top of the video, I have also done an unboxing of the physical contents of this set, which you can watch right now. And you can also find exactly the same videos, an unboxing and an on the disc video, for the Season 1 Blu-ray set I mentioned a few moments ago as well. Before I conclude proper, just a sort of a quick note from me that I appreciate it's been quite a while coming, this video, and much appreciated that everyone who has been asking in the comments when it was going to be coming, just for waiting around and sticking by. Nothing major happened, quite frankly. It was just work picked up, so I had to kind of focus on things like that, which is why the videos have been delayed. But I am now back on the wagon, as it were, and fully intending to try and keep this going as a more regular thing. So when the Season 3 set comes out, Sailor Moon S, which has now been announced by Viz Media, I do fully intend to do an unboxing and an on-the-disc video for that as well, along with many other Blu-rays that, quite frankly, I've got waiting in a giant pile very close to me just off screen here. So do stick around. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this as well, please hit a like on the video and let me know if there are any other questions you have about this set that I may have not mentioned. I am more than happy to delve into perhaps some other bits and bobs on the disc that I have not perhaps covered in the video, because there's so much to talk about. chances are I may have missed something, so please do let me know in the comments, if you have any questions. With that being said, I've been Jeremy, thank you very much for watching, take care, and have a nice day.